music has no boundary. And how much do you belong to the tradition? And you are of this generation. How much do you belong to the contemporary time? And how this tradition and contemporary time, they are weaved in one string, where you have so many strings.
That's right. Yeah, there are too many strings, I agree with you, close to 100 strings. But it's events like these where you get to meet people who've been, away from India, missing Indian music. They get to listen to traditional music. And I personally feel every young generation person should be proud of India's heritage, which is the classical arts and music, which is so evolved that you cannot find an, similar equation in any other form of music, I personally believe. So this kind of music is also meditative. It takes you within yourself, gives you peace of mind. At the same time, if you have the vision, if you have the capacity to see the possibilities of combining and collaborating, then you're not only keeping the traditional alive, but taking it forward into the contemporary. So it's one of those things,
Through the years, singers, musicians, artists, painters, all they have been striving for peace. And you being a musician, and being a musician from a part of India, from a part of the world where there are turbulence and all these things, we have been striving for all these years with poets, with painters, with musicians, with singers, with filmmakers. How much do you think that our music can contribute to peace?
It's a very interesting question. You being an artist yourself can understand the possibilities of music reaching out and healing people, especially the kind of music that we're playing, which, like you said, is not bound by any language, religion, caste or anything. It's just reaching out and giving a message of, connecting with your inner self and achieving that state where you can experience nirvana. And music is actually something which can make you travel, make you, give an out-of-body experience as well. So if you listen to music in a deep state, it can easily take you in a trance. It can take the musician who's playing in a trance, at the same time the listener. So what better to, give the message of peace than this kind of music?
That's great what you said, expressed in the best way. Now, Tanmoy, you have collaborated with great musicians, okay?
He's one of them.
Yes, he's one of them. And now, what you feel when you, particularly, I'm saying being absolutely, completely not politically correct. I don't want to be politically correct. When you are playing with him, what is the special, unique feature that you find in him?
What I enjoyed most playing with him is his attitude and musicality on stage. He never ever made me feel, while I was playing with him, that I was creating or doing something which would disturb his imagination. He was encouraging me to play and be with him along as he was developing the music. I loved that because this was my first opportunity to play with him. And as you very correctly said, that we have grown up listening to Panditji, the great legend, Zakirji, together. And my Guruji, Pandit Shankar Ghosh, always mentioned Panditji's name about his lay, his perception of lay. And Rahulji has the same kind of addressing the lay, was almost on the same level.
It's very sweet of you.
That's true.
Things, but on stage, it's just like, today, let it happen. We have to bow down and
Absolutely.
Let that energy and force come.
Surely.
And so we just seek blessings all the time.
Absolutely.
And playing with him is also great because he's such a fine artist. And we played directly on stage. That's the beauty. That's what I said to the audience, that this music is spontaneous. It happens on stage, much like jazz, which is improvised. We are not planning that, this is going to happen after this phrase. So I think that's what the beauty is. If you ask us to repeat it, it won't be the same.
Correct.
We are inspired by Shiv Kumar Sharma.
Correct.
we are inspired, our generation is inspired by Shiv Kumar Sharma. So he is the benchmark. So how much difficulty or path that you cross, that where tradition of Shiv Kumar Sharma you have, at the same time you are growing with your own path. Here Shiv Kumar Sharma doesn't really relate to just stepfather, but a great
Legend.
artist.
Of course. Yeah, absolutely. With me, the thing is that sometimes there's a dilemma whether he's a father, whether he's a guru. So the roles keep changing all the time. And the thing is that it takes a lifetime to achieve what he's done, in the sense of think of the kind of material and create a language for the santur, which was not there. So the language, to create a vocabulary and a language, we are just following that. So for us, it's extremely easy. But the person who set it up, that's a visionary. So, it is always difficult for somebody to follow, especially the son to follow that. But what is life without challenges? You have to try.
And now about the challenges, where exactly you debunk the tradition?
I debunk the tradition when I'm playing a fusion concert. I go on my own trip when I'm doing my albums. I do rock albums. I do fusion albums, collaborations. With Kenny G, that time I'm not thinking that I'm playing classical music. So I need to forget that, unlearn that, like how it is for music direction. You can't always think about rags. You have to think of what the person, common man on the street, will hum. He's not going to run a very complicated raga, right? So in each its own place is good, but you have to kind of, people like Zakir Hussain who've experimented and taken these things, so we're just learning from them.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
And today's performance, I was feeling that there's some sparks, there's some moments are creating, and these are frozen moments. What do you talk about the frozen moments?
Well, whatever I had to say, I said it on stage.
Performed. Yeah, you don't have to talk about it.
Thank you.
That's about a great musician. I would not say just genius, because he's in the process of being a legend. So we would not stuck him by saying all these cliches. It's great to meet such a musician, such a person with great aesthetics. Thank you so much.
We are very honored for.
We are very honored.
Yeah.
I'm very honored being a musician
interview.
to meet. Yeah.
Thank you so much.